What is mold? And should I get a mold inspection when I'm buying a house? If you want the answers to these questions, stay tuned. Hi, we're back, and I'm Tom Steck, the Tom of the TomKat Team with Century 21 Real Estate Champions. Our guest today is Doug Linder of DR Mold Solutions, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about mold and what you can do about it.
My name is Doug Linder. My company is DR Mold Solutions. My son Ryan and I are the owners. We've been in business for a little over 6 years.
Hi, Doug. Thank you for being with us today and talking to us about mold. What is mold in a house?
Mold is everywhere, and particularly here in Florida. If you take a walk through the woods, you'll see mold all over the ground. It has some real important properties and it has important jobs in the world. But when it gets into your house, it can be a real serious problem. Mold is a living organism, and it produces spores, which can make us sick. It also puts off something called mycotoxins, which also can make us sick. Again, there are about 300,000 species of mold. Fortunately, only a few of them make us ill or are detrimental to humans. The problem is we don't really know which ones those are. So that's why we try to help people understand how much mold they have in their house and the types of mold.
Doug, another question is, should you get a mold inspection before buying a home?
I really think that's up to the buyer. There are two kinds of people that we've discovered. One we call the canary in the coal mine. They are the ones that tend to be more sensitive to mold, and they'll cough or sneeze, or they might break out or whatever. Those people are very valuable in your family because they can let you know early on if there's a problem. A lot of other people are just not sensitive to mold, but I will say that even those people, if they may not know that there's mold in their home, but they can still be affected by mold. I think it's up to the individual buyer. Obviously, we would love to do mold assessments for everybody, but I think I really would say it's up to the buyer.
What are the signs of mold in your house?
Well, Tom, there's three really easy signs to figure out if you have mold, or at least, if you're seeing black substances around, particularly where there may be water, like under your sink, in the showers, by the water heater or whatever, that's a good indication you have mold. The next indication is if you're seeing dark spots around an air duct. It's generally not dirt. People think, oh, I got to clean my air ducts. Well, you may want to clean them, but it's probably mold. And lastly, if you're coughing and sneezing in your home, that's a really good indication that you've got some kind of organism that doesn't belong there. People say, oh, I've got an allergy. Well, the allergies are outside. You've got an air filter. It should be filtering out things. But if you're coughing and sneezing, probably a good indication that you have mold in your house.
This is great information, Doug. But another question that I have heard people ask is, can you get sick from mold in your house?
You absolutely can get sick from mold. Obviously, we talked about if you're coughing or sneezing in your home, chances are that's an indication that there's mold. Your house should be a respite from you. We've got all these things blowing around out when we go outside. You've got all kinds of debris. You've got pollen. You've got all kinds of things. And when you come in your home, it should be a respite. And so if you're coughing or sneezing, that's a good indication. But mold can do more serious harm to humans. It's been known to cause lung problems, to cause renal failure, and people have died from mold. I've seen pictures of infections in people's lungs, and it is not a pretty thing. So it's something that you do want to take care of quickly once you figure out that there's a mold issue in your home.
Is it difficult to get rid of mold?
Tom, the answer to that is yes and no. Sorry to be a little bit indecisive, but if you've got a minor case of mold, it's pretty easy to treat, and we can take care of that pretty easily. If you've got a fairly substantial amount of mold in your house, it can be very involved. It's going to require a remediator. It can get very expensive. There are about 37 steps that a remediator has to go through to clean the mold out of your house, to clean the air, to put back walls or whatever they've had to take out. And so the idea is to get mold early and before it gets out of hand. And so that's the really big message for today.
Well, thank you for all the information. Now, if someone is curious about getting more information, who should they contact?
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you. We are DR Mold Solutions. My name is Doug Linder. My phone number is 727-692-9622, and our website is drmoldsolutions.com.
If you want to know why home inspections are very important, please take a look at this video. Thank you for watching. I'm Tom Steck of the TomKat Team, and remember, we sell paradise in Pinellas.